Man, I really do like this mango color on this bike. And this is the Velotric Discover 1 electric bike. And Velotric did sponsor this video, but they really just want my honest thoughts and opinions about this bike and for me to put it in the video and to show it to you, my audience, and that's what I'm going to do. And oh, before I do that, I do need to point out that I did install the handlebars incorrectly. So I was rushing. I didn't look at the manual. I thought I knew everything, but you actually need to rotate the handlebars away from you. And so yeah, for most of this video, you will see the handlebars in the wrong orientation, but just make sure you read that manual when you do get your bike. And so this bike does come in two different versions. So you have the high step version here, which means that you have this bar right here that you kind of have to high step over to get on the bike. And this bike also comes in a step through version, so you don't have this bar right here. So it's a little bit easier to get on the bike. And this is going to be great for people who might have leg or back issues. But the one good thing about the high step version with this bar is that you can add on a bag for storage a lot easier. But everything else I'm about to talk about for the rest of this video is identical to both bikes. So you do have a place to mount something like a water bottle right here below the seat post. And then also these bikes will be coming in 4 colors. So you have the mango color that I have here, and then you also do have cyan, gray, and pearl to be able to choose from. So I like the color options that you do have. Now, both bikes do have a very comfortable seat as well. I love this seat because it's wide and also has a decent amount of cushion on it. So it makes for my long riding sessions to go a lot easier because the seat is very comfortable for my bottom. Now, one thing I did notice when I was adjusting the seat up and down was that the seat post itself did get a little ashy. So this isn't the most attractive thing. It's not a deal breaker, but something I don't want to see. Now, this bike does have an aluminum alloy frame, so it's going to be nice and sturdy, but also not too heavy. I think this bike weighs in around the 60 pound, 65 pound range. So it's not too bad for an electric bike. So it was easy for me to get this thing up on the bike rack of my car. Oh, and this bike has a maximum weight limit of 440 pounds. So that's a lot. And you can also add a front or rear rack to this bike to be able to store more things on it while you're riding. And the company does sell those racks on their website. And then as I took a look around the bike, I started to notice these different design elements that really do stand out to me, like this V that's connected to the rear fender. That looks good. And also the logos and stuff are tastefully done, especially up on the front. Oh, and then I really do like the brown sidewalls on the tires of this bike too. So that brown really goes well with the yellow frame of the bike that I went with. So yeah, the tires, the rest of the framing of the bike allows this bike to really stand out. I got some compliments when I was riding, and I'm not just talking about my beautiful face, but also the bike too. But yeah, I'm liking the design of this bike. And to help with the clean look of this bike, you really do have some good cable management up front, so things are nicely tied down, and also a lot of the cables are integrated through the bike frame as well, and that contributes to that clean look. And as far as water resistance, because it does look like it's about to rain here soon, so I have to hurry up with this video, but this bike is rated IPX4 for water resistance, so light rain, stuff like that is going to be just fine. And to help give you a little bit of water resistance, this bike does come by default with front and rear fenders, and I love the fenders because they are a little bit longer than normal, so they cover a lot of that tire, and that's going to help against splashes and stuff if you are going through puddles or mud. Now, integrated into the fender is one of the brightest taillights that I've seen on an electric bike, and it also doubles as a brake light. So when you press down on the brakes, it will brighten up even more, and you combine that with one of the brightest LED headlights that I've seen on an electric bike as well that gives you a decent amount of brightness right in front of you. You have some really good nighttime visibility with this bike, especially paired with the bright color of the mango color that I have here on this bike. And so this is a really good bike for nighttime visibility for other drivers and other cyclists on the road. All right, so now let's look up on the handlebars to see what you get. So first, you get some really comfortable grips. These grips feel nice. And then also you do get a thumb throttle on the right-hand side. And I do know some people do prefer a thumb throttle versus a twist throttle because it's just easier on your hands and your wrists. And then also you'll find the controls for the Shimano 7-speed derailleur that you do have. So these are the shifter controls up top. Very kind of standard, but definitely they work very well. And then on the left-hand side, you will find your traditional bike bell. And then also to the left of that, you will find the controls for the display. And so the display is a 3.5-inch LCD backlit display, so it's plenty bright for sunlight, so don't worry about that. And then you can use the buttons to be able to rotate through different pieces of information like your distance travel, your speed, your time, all of that stuff here on the screen. And on the bottom of the display, you will find a USB Type-A port, so you can plug in your phone or something to be able to charge it while you're riding. And speaking of riding, what's going to be powering this bike while you are riding? Well, that's going to be a 500-watt rear hub motor that sits in the rear wheel. And this does peak out at 900 watts. So when you are going through situations like riding up a hill or something, this is going to be able to give you a little bit more power to help help you up that hill, especially when you take advantage of the 5 levels of pedal assist, which means as you're pedaling, the motor is going to be helping you out along the way. And so I know you're probably interested in what type of speed you can get with this bike, so let's transition over to my speed test right now. All right, so now for my speed test. So this bike does ship to you as a Class 2 electric bike, which means that I should be able to get around 20 miles per hour or so. So it's not a speed demon, but that should be plenty for most people. But another good thing about this being Class 2 is that this will be legal to ride in most places. So national parks and places like that, you should be good, but definitely check your local regulations. But let's go ahead and get this first speed test going. I'm just gonna be using the thumb throttle only. And here we go in 3, 2, 1, boom. All right, and we're off. It's a little bit windy today. It was raining a little bit earlier, but we're already at 13 miles per hour on the bike's display. We're at 15 miles per hour on my GPS app. We're at 18, 19 miles per hour on the GPS app. We're already over 20 miles per hour on the bike's display. And now we're at 20.7 on the GPS app on my phone, and we're at 21 miles per hour on the bike's display. So just using throttle only, this is what I was expecting from this Class 2 electric bike. So now let's go ahead and do a braking test of the hydraulic disc brakes. Woo, all right, nice brakes too. Nice and quiet and some really good stopping power. So yeah, we got around 20, 21 miles per hour using the throttle only, and that's not bad. All right, so now for my speed test using pedal assist. This bike does have 5 levels of pedal assist, and I have it on 5. So let's get this thing going in 3, 2, 1, boom. All right, about 1 rotation in, and the motor already kicked in, so that is good. And I'm gonna give it a little bit more power. We're at 15, 17 miles per hour, 18 miles per hour on the GPS app. We're already at 20 on the bike's display. And I'm already kicking in high gear now. We're at 21 miles per hour on the bike's display, 21 miles per hour on the GPS app, 21.4. All right, so it looks like that's gonna be the top speed. Let me test out the brakes. Again, brakes are pretty good too. So using pedal assist and throttle, you're looking at around 21 miles per hour max that you can get out of this bike. All right, so now let's talk about range. So this bike does come with a 48 volt, 14.4 amp hour battery that has a total of 682 watt hours. And this battery is removable, so you can use one of the 2 keys that comes with this bike to be able to unlock it and take it inside if you want to just leave your bike outside in the garage and charge it up at home. Or if you do ride this to work, you know, you can always leave your bike somewhere and just carry the battery inside with you. And this is especially good if you have stairs. But anyway, let's get back to the range. So the company says you can get around 65 miles when you are just using pedal assist, and then up to around 58 miles if you are using the throttle only. But the actual range that you get will depend on how much you weigh, how much weight do you have on the bike, are you going up a lot of hills and stuff like that. So if you want to get the maximum range, take advantage of that pedal assist. Now this bike really does shine in the city, but you can go off-road a little bit. So it's not marketed as like a mountain bike or anything, but this bike does come with 26 by 2.5 inch tires. So they're thick enough to be able to go out in grass and terrain like this, and you should be able to have a good amount of traction. And then we need to get back on the pavement to get back home, the tires will transition very well. And as far as suspension, you just have front suspension on this bike, and it has about 80 millimeters of travel. So that's decent enough for, you know, small bumps and things. This bike is not going to be too uncomfortable. But if you are trying to get really adventurous and, you know, really take some big jumps and stuff, just be a little bit aware of that. And you also might want to consider getting like a suspension seat post. So the company doesn't sell one, but you can always buy one from a third party. And this bike does have a walkie mode too, so you can press down and hold on the minus button, and now the motor will kick in a little bit and give you just enough power to allow the bike to kind of push itself along. And this is good especially if you are going up a hill or just kind of rough terrain. All right, so I think that's about it with this bike. So this bike does cost $18.99 normally, but it's on sale right now at the time of this video for $11.99, which I think is an awesome price for everything that you get with this package of this electric bike. You also get a 14-day free trial, so if you don't like it, you can send it back within 14 days, and it does come with a 1-year warranty. And so look, I get asked a lot about e-bike recommendations these days, and I always like to recommend a bike that at least gets the basics done right, and this bike does achieve that. So you have the comfortable seat, hydraulic disc brakes, which are are nice and quiet and perform well. You have front and rear fenders, a very nice design, clean cable management, bright display. So all those things are really good. And the 500-watt motor will be good for most people. If you are looking for more speed and more power, this isn't going to be the bike for you as far as like being able to get up to like 32 miles per hour or something. But again, this 500-watt motor at a class 2 electric bike rating allows you to be able to ride this without having any fear about being able to go too fast or being restricted in certain areas. So yeah, I'll drop a link down below in the description box of this video so you can check out this bike even further and also pick up one for yourself. But also leave a comment down below on this video and let me know your thoughts about this bike. Make sure you hit that like button if you did like this video, and also hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you can see my future e-bike videos and also my future just general tech videos on smartphones and stuff. But anyway, let me get out of here because it is really about to rain. So thanks for watching this video, and I will catch you later. Peace.